Now that you're clear on the one thing that keeps you from being clear, what do you do with it? How do you use it to get clear on a new body of work and a new way of working that finally lets your soul roar? How do you know in your bones what your next body of work is with sharp clarity and profound trust? You untangle that one thing at the root of your confusion to stand in the power of your own clarity. You learn to transform it with compassion, power, and grace into clarity you cannot lose because it is in you. Because when you act from the truth of your own clarity, you no longer need to know the outcome. The outcome presents itself. You trust yourself to successfully create a new body of work and a new way of working that finally lets your soul roar, one piece of clarity at a time. You're no longer grasping for certainty before you begin or resorting back to what you've always done in confusion. Your capacity to be clear and to be vulnerable and visible in it reaps concrete and miraculous rewards in forms and ways that you cannot imagine. Because there is a force to clarity, a solidity and a power from standing in the truth of yourself and your work and allowing the divine to run through it into it. It comes through in everything that you do. Your messaging drips clarity, power, and truth like nectar. Your offerings pulse with lived wisdom. Your presence transforms, and people feel it. But here's the trick. You cannot think your way to clarity. If you would, you could have. Or if you could, you would have. Sorry about that. You need a different way, a way that reaches the root of what's keeping you confused, where it actually is, and works with what it actually is. A way that sources your deepest wisdom to reveal the powerful truth of your fullest expression, that shifts where and how you make decisions away from your habituated mind and into your deeply rooted knowing. And a way that teaches you to do this yourself so that you trust yourself. Because you cannot create your next body of work by doing the same things that you've always done. Your new work is holistic and energetic. Its integrity is rooted in your presence of being, and that demands that you are it. You know this. You know that you cannot think your way to clarity. And you know that your next body of work requires your energetic and real shift in being, away from your habituated mind and into your deeply rooted knowing. But your mind still wants a path. It wants to know there's a process and it wants to understand what that process is. Without that, you keep reaching for what you've always done, asking your mind to answer what it cannot answer and asking for certainty before you act on clarity. You're not quite ready to trust that you'll find your way to clarity in exactly the right way at exactly the right time, even with my experienced guidance. You want to, but it feels like too much of a leap. And that alone makes you feel conflicted and confused. If you find yourself here, I invite you to join me for clarity. It's an intimate 5-week experiential inquiry to finally get clear with a progression of practice that your mind will understand. The sequence over 5 weeks will naturally untangle the root of your confusion to create sharp clarity. You will experience a shift in where and how you make decisions, away from your habituated mind and into your deeply rooted knowing. And you will learn to use spiritual practice for deep transformation and practical guidance at the same time. No big leaps of faith necessary. You can click below to learn more and to register. I hope to work with you there.